Well, leaving the Valley for college may open the door to lessons that can't be learned in the classroom. And one Valley family says they do not regret letting their children leave the nest.
Texas Gear Up recently spoke with a Montalvo family, and Leti Garza shares the advice that they are offering to others.
Domingo and America Montalvo are the parents of two former Gear Up students. Both kids went against their mom and dad's wishes and attended college outside the Valley.
We would tell my son, why do you want to go so far away to get an education? You can get the same education here in the Valley. And he was set on going to Texas A&M, and we had to let him go.
Domingo was the first one to leave the house, so we were going to miss him.
Then came Sis. Michelle Montalvo wanted to follow in her brother's footsteps.
After high school, I moved over here to San Antonio, and I started living with my brother. I lived with him for a really long time. Recently moved out, but I went to the University of Texas in San Antonio, and I did graduate in 2013. For me, it was all about following in my brother's footsteps, of course. The whole environment, the spirit, the traditions, I wanted that as much as just like he did, so that was my motivation.
Her brother Domingo is now a dad himself and understands the difficulty of letting go.
As a parent now, it puts things in perspective as to what my parents went through. From dropping off our son for the first time in daycare, it was a difficult day. So I can imagine what my parents went through when they dropped me off at A&M for the very first time.
Mom and Dad said it was tough to let their first child leave the nest, but when it came to letting Michelle leave home, they say it wasn't as tough.
We got used to the fact that he was in college and he was making a better life for himself. It was easier for us to let Michelle leave to college. It was easier for us to just let her make her own decision where she wanted to go because we saw that we survived.
Domingo says the toughest part about leaving was convincing his parents to let him go.
Convincing my parents to allow me to step outside our comfort zone and go to A&M, it was all about educating them about what the process was like. I found a lot of things that I didn't know about myself while at A&M, while being away from home. I took on 2 jobs while going to school full-time. I think that's where I developed my work ethic and to always stretch yourself to be able to get to what you want, be able to achieve success.
His parents say Gear Up made it easy.
Before Mingo started talking about going to college, we had no idea what college life would be like until we started going to conferences with the Gear Up program. And we started getting a little bit more information about what it was going to be like.
Domingo has advice for parents out there who want to keep their kids from experiencing college outside the Valley.
One thing that I would advise these parents is that life will come to these kids. These kids will learn so much from being out on their own, from their work ethic to experiencing different things, working 2 jobs to making ends meet and balancing your checkbook. I mean, there's a lot of things that outside of the classroom that you learn being out there.
That's great advice, Domingo. I'm Leti Garza with Gear Up.